Okay. We will bring the Candidates July Town Board meeting to order, and I will ask the clerk to call roll.
Supervisor Singer.
Here.
Councilwoman Crowley. Present. Councilman Frazier.
Here.
Councilman Gronwell.
Here.
And Councilman Staff.
Councilman Stat is necessarily absent. Can I ask everyone rise to salute the flag? They put the flag, you know what happened? No, what happened is they put the flag longs over here. The guys put them in the wrong corner. Son. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one
nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And the eagle's flying into the wall. Yeah, it was Mike Virgil. He even said something to me. I'm not sure if I put them in the right corners, and I didn't even think to look, and I
How
just
many years did
automatically.
he do the pledge to the?
Exactly, but anyways.
Now we can put this in the time capsule. One meeting for the flags for.
Me facing the wrong way, and how many years have I been doing?
Yeah, but until you got up and.
I really was all ready to start. I didn't even pay any attention. It wasn't the American flag. Okay, moving right along. I have a motion to approve the June 8th minutes.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any corrections or comments?
Didn't see any.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. At this time, I'll open the public hearing to entertain comments pertaining to the adoption of local law number 1, intro of 2026, entitled "A Local Law Overriding the Tax Levy Limit for the Fiscal Year 2027. Anybody like to address the board regarding this local law? It's basically a housekeeping thing that we do every year to stay out of trouble with the state. We normally do not. I think the only time we ever exceeded the tax levy cap was the year we put the levy online for the water district, because there is no allowance for a new district coming on. So obviously it had to exceed it once we did the assessments for all the capital projects.
Motion to approve.
Well, there's no motion in here. We're just doing the public hearing right at the moment.
Right. She's ready. I'm ready.
She's all ready. All right. Hearing no comments, I have motion to close the public hearing.
Oh, motion.
Okay, and a second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Oppose. Carried. Would anybody like to address the board under privilege of the floor before we start? Any comments, Chris, on Saturday?
No, I thought the event went well, thanks to those that helped. There were many, Chris, Ernie, Denise, Scott, Mike Virgil. And we would have loved more people. Okay, as well. Folks that read the Declaration of Independence, I think everyone that went really enjoyed it, got a lot of positive feedback. Yeah, so.
And it was nice that so many of the supervisors came.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, we had some nice,
I threatened to, no, I didn't.
they were,
They were very willing.
yep, they were willing and they were grateful and they all enjoyed it. So thank you again. But those of you that attended and pass on the word for the next event.
Well, we'll see how many
It's changing
changes.
the question about where the time capsule was that day. So it's in here now and people have been putting things in it. We don't know who.
Well, right now, some of the stuff I've got, I've just put in the box. As I was putting the time capsules in there, like I said, I felt something moving around. So I don't know if somebody from the highway department, when they were making those, put something in there. I haven't opened it up and looked. But I put the stuff from Barb Christoph in there and a couple other things. So I figured I was gonna mark on the front of the box items for the time capsule we can collect for a while, and
We should put Mike's in there too.
Mike's
Virgil.
his speech.
Yeah.
Oh, but she brought some pictures of the house and the history of the house and stuff. And she actually had them in plastic
She did a
protectors.
speech too.
No,
I think they both should go in there.
Hers was just she had a
just
piece of
did
paper
clip
and
notes
she was
with-
off the top of her head.
yeah,
Ad libbed.
she was basically doing clip notes off the top of her head.
She had a tiny little piece of paper.
I'll ask her to enlarge that. Put it in the
Well, that's
caption.
an artifact, so there's no question.
All right.
Thank you.
Communications on file with the town clerk and distributed to the town board. The one I would like to point out is the one that's on the addendum. Letter from New York State Parks, Recreation and Historic Preservation about a virtual meeting regarding the Harriet Hollister Trail System. They plan on making some changes up there. It's gonna be on the 21st, I believe, at like 6, 7 o'clock at night.
22nd.
22nd. All right, you gotta have, if you're gonna want, so that they can send you the link, you gotta tell them you want to participate by the 21st. I already sent mine back today. I will not be in town, but I plan on logging into it down at my son's, so I'm curious what they plan on doing up there.
So who do we contact to get them?
We can get you a copy of the letter that's got email to contact them.
Put this on our website. Okay.
I don't see why not. I mean, what, okay, what, did you get
Email
one?
from the DEC and a postcard today, so I'll just forward the emails.
It is for this meeting?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because there was one letter came to Jeremy and one letter came to me, and I just
Because
opened
he's up
it
here in
today.
the park. They probably send it to residents.
And I've been to meetings here in this room that they conducted, so.
Right.
Right, but I think it's also because you live up near the park.
Oh, yeah, they,
Concerned neighbor.
that,
Yeah.
why?
Yes.
Yes, Stony Brook does that.
But yeah, so they're gonna
Thank
be
you. Thanks, Rich.
doing some changes to the trails up there, so I'm curious to see what they're up to. Okay. Now we have a thank you from Elaine Cook for the donation that we made to the Don Cook Scholarship. I guess it was just this one-time thing. They took it and divided, okay.
One time.
All right, I thought maybe they were gonna try to start something.
No, so what they're doing is they have to successfully complete the first semester, or is it the whole year? I think it's the first semester.
First semester.
Then they'll receive $825
Okay,
each.
that's how we do it at the Legion too. We have a scholarship that gives out, and they have to send us their grades from the first semester, and then we send them our donation. But I didn't know if it was something they were gonna have continuous down there. Okay, but anyways, a thank you from her. Terry provided with a couple of pictures emailed to us, and I printed them out here from Saturday from the event. I guess we got some other pictures that'll be coming, and
Laura had already sent some, but I couldn't print them out today.
yeah, we were having a lot of fun with the computers today again. Not going there.
They were cute.
Sure.
All right, moving along to reports. Town clerk.
Paying to the supervisor for the general fund, $2,042.76 for water, $850.51. DEC, $344.84. Animal Population Control Fund, $39. Health Department for marriage license, $22.50 for a total disbursement of $3,299.61. And we also received a bunch of brochures from Senator Helming related to ticks and Lyme disease, and they're on my counter. And the water billing went okay. We have one account that doesn't seem right, so I came back in today so that Joe could do some data logging on that account, and then I'm gonna call the homeowner tomorrow. I still have not been able to get the leak report. Debbie said that there's some kind of glitch in the program. So if anybody has a leak, I don't know. But all the bills went out and I already got payments in.
Alright, can I have a motion to approve the town clerk's financial report?
I make a motion to approve the town clerk's financial report.
In a second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, carried. One other thing that was in communications, we passed the resolution at the county for the 2027 workman's compensation levy, and our amount is going down by almost $4,000. And that's basically, it's a very similar formula to just general, private sector, because we haven't had any serious claims and accidents, so,
Yay.
yep. Yes, it is.
For a town this size, that's.
I mean, there was a time we were paying over 20-some thousand dollars.
Okay.
You know, that employee retired. Um. So,
Makes a difference.
yes, it does. So we've been working our way down, so that's a good thing. Got a quick little note from Denise this morning for a historian's report. Things were really rocking as America turned 250 years old. Thank you, Chris Vestola, for putting together our tribute for the birth of the United States of America. Can't wait for 2030. Well, she's a year off, but it's close. It crosses both of them. For Candidace's birthday. We have a new deputy historian, Camille Sprague Road, has joined her team. We're approving that later, but that was her letter because she approved the person.
She had a nice display too.
Yes, she did. Yeah, Denise did a very nice job. And she's got ideas she's already starting to put ideas together for the bicentennial, so.
Great.
Yeah. One of the things that Camille has already started working on is a lot of the stuff that had been scanned both prior by the bots and stuff that she's done. Camille is getting them cataloged and organized so they'll be accessed through the web.
Neat.
Yeah. So a lot of photos, a lot of documents, a lot of stuff like that. So
Which I don't think people even look at the photos we've already got on the web now.
no, but she's gonna get them kind of catalogs and done so that people can actually, you want to search for a certain family or you want to search for something like this, so you can actually search instead of just
Nice.
randomly scrolling through.
Yeah.
I
Nice.
don't think we know who some of those cottages belong to. No.
No. And then some of them were there, now they're there. Or were there and now there's something much bigger. So, okay, code enforcement. Terry, did you get a chance to look at this? I wasn't copying all this for everybody. You two will see.
I did.
Well, there's some lovely photos in there. Okay. Code enforcement officers permit report and stuff has been copied, everybody. Anything on the permit report and stuff that you want to highlight, Joe? No? Okay. Just kind of perking along there. This packet of information has to do with 5526 County Road 36. Joe had to do an emergency vacate order to order someone out of there. They had no running water. The photos are
Speak for themselves.
beyond believable that somebody could even be living there like that. And I don't know if anybody heard the news, but after he was vacated from there a couple days later or a day later, the sheriff and the Humane Society showed up. He had a couple of cats and a couple of dogs there. They took them because they had been obviously not properly taken care of and abandoned. And then they charged him with 3 different charges: animal cruelty, animal abandonment, and something else. So he's been in court for that. The property has been sold to a neighbor who is agreeing to clean it all up, but it had to go through some court proceedings because it had been under a land contract, which is why that file is kind of so big and cumbersome, but the photos are like, Joe went through hell with this one to say the least, but it's definitely got some resolution going and stuff now. And
What triggered the initial visit?
So
I read the resolution, said you had cause to go. What was the cause?
the cause to go was the property owner wanted, the new property owner wanted me to go up and do an inspection to tell him what he needs to do to take care of the problem. And when I went up there, I discovered that he was still there.
Yeah.
He answered the door.
Okay, so the new owner requested your presence?
Yes.
To inspect. Okay, thank you.
it was
The
a
property
pretty,
was foreclosed on.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand that, but
And there was it was the town's assumption, meaning my department, that because of that order by the county judge, that there was to be nobody living there.
Okay.
And I brought it to our criminal attorney, Fred Lester. He described the exact paragraph where it says that the county judge had ordered them to vacate the property 2 months prior. So they, I shut the water off at that point and I was under the assumption that nobody was living. So I really had no other choice.
Okay, thank you.
So this is what did I ask you earlier? It was sold to someone and there was someone living on there
Yeah.
still
Yes.
from the previous owner.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was sold not under a tax auction, but under what would be
Foreclosure
considered a bank foreclosure auction.
Yeah. Okay.
But it gets a little more complicated with the land contract. The
Was in there.
property owner is considered the bank.
Gotcha.
Is that 6,000, that property?
Yes.
It is, okay.
6,000 what?
That's the property address.
No.
No, no,
5226.
No, yeah, you're right.
No,
5536.
5526.
That's a different foreclosure.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
I
sorry.
know about that one.
yeah,
Yes.
he knows.
Okay,
Yeah.
just checking.
That's a bank one.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's the bank.
That's another nightmare.
But the reason we have to go through this process, I wanna put this on the record too.
Okay,
And Sheila also wanted me to, it's because of the due process part in the Constitution, because the actual part in the state code, it doesn't give any direction on how to like procedurally how to do this. So we have to follow what is procedurally written in our code. And that's kind of a little, it's not set in
Black and
stone.
white,
Yes,
right,
yeah.
right.
So we're offering the opportunity for due process with a post hearing. Because the property owner and I'm gonna use the term squatter because he's not the property owner and he's not a tenant, so I'm gonna use the word squatter, was living there. So they can have due process because the squatters have rights too.
so we have a resolution of acceptance of the CEO's report and findings with respect to 5526 County Road 36 in order to repair or demolish the structure, which towards the end in the resolve sets a public hearing on August 10th at our next board meeting for anyone to come in and dispute the findings and orders that have been done out. So, motion.
Second,
Kate, any other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Planning board, Ted.
Planning board met June 22nd. You have the minutes. Distributed to you. The minutes are very thorough and complete. Quick rundown. We had a subdivision for Deb Pecora on Nickenbach Hill Road. This has gone on for a few months. Eric Brownell, a property owner on that little right of way. His well was not on his own property, nor was a portion of his farm that had been erected. So he wanted to purchase some land from Ms. Pecora so that he would be conforming or nearly conforming. He's still not quite conforming because of his barn still needed, or excuse me, his was it the barn?
Yeah.
the barn still required a variance. It wasn't 20 feet. It had an earlier variance and that was overturned with the moving of the new lot line. So he had to go back to zoning board, get another variance. So he and she have been through the ringer on this, but it was finalized. He by deed is granting right of way for the small portion of that. What they call butterfly lane. It's just a right of way.
Firefly.
Dragonfly.
Dragonfly, yes. It's a fly.
A sunfly. So that was finalized. So he's happy, Ms. McClure's happy, and everything's done with that one. The other one, the next one, the special use permit for the music festival. We received the final site plan with the recommended changes from the county planning. Primary change was they erected some crowd control fencing along a gully to prevent anyone from entering a gully inadvertently.
Do I remember there's no overnight?
No overnight camping.
Okay.
No, the planning board had verified that with Joe and New York State Code. So everything is set, and it's been given final approval. He started to advertise and it'll come off on August 29th. The special use permit is for just this 1 year. It's not an annual permit. He'll have to reapply annually if he wants to continue this. So yeah, he's been very cooperative, doing everything to try to come into conformance with our codes in New York State, and he's done that. Now the responsibility falls on Joe as CEO to, assure that the activities go according to the site plan and the agreements that have been made. Third item was a site plan application for Kevin Gassel, Sunset Drive. He wants to erect a pole barn. Sunset Lane, Sunset
Hughes Drive.
Drive. Many of the properties go from the lake all the way west to County Road 36. They have a homeowners organization that only allows residences on the east side of the road. On the west side of the road, they can construct storage buildings, etc. So that was his intent. There'll be no utilities, no water, no driveway. He's just going to use it a couple of times a year to move his
Boats and stuff.
summer things in and out. As a kind of a Morton type building, there are a lot of them down there. This fit the topography in the area very nicely, so that was approved. That's all. I see on your agenda a discussion with Ontario County Planning on the solar law. I left last meeting thinking that someone from the town board or Joe was going to be carrying on that, and so we haven't done anything with that.
We wanted to see if they had something
Yeah,
going over
right.
there. I also talked to them about the tiny homes. Right now, they don't have anything that they're working on through any other town or anything else at this point in time.
Okay.
And offered to begin and start with a model law either way. I know the tiny homes, we discussed just changing our
Yeah.
building code for the 400 to 599 square
Areas.
feet and 600 feet over. So, I went back to him when I went back through my notes. I said, I think we've got that one figured out.
Right.
And this is my information I've been accumulating on questions and stuff on our codes and updates.
Is that all?
To talk, yeah. And let's see, that's the short-term rental one, but I got a whole, there's a whole section here on the solar one that I have that, as things of the solar energy law, that's this one. My notes that Chris had, notes that have been turned in by different ones of different sections of the thing, and then the law that
Right.
Joe got from the other one. So since nobody else is doing it, I may sit down with Ontario County Planning and turn all this stuff over to them to come up to incorporate all that stuff into it, and then actually let, other towns and stuff, they'll let other towns and stuff know, so that we're
Right.
kind of all on the same page.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
And that's all we had.
Zoning Board of Appeals had a meeting. Their minutes have been done. We're having fun with one day or two, aren't we? Yeah. So it's perking along. Highway Superintendent. We got a written report from Joe. Or Jeremy. Joe and I have been doing a lot of talking the last couple of weeks with everything that's going on. Jeremy's been out of town, but he just got back into town a few hours ago, and he sent me a pretty lengthy message. And I'll just shorten it up a little bit. The BNL was on site last Thursday with GSI, which is a company that has the county bid for soil nailing stabilization. They have done other projects for the county. They did the one across from you
36.
on 36 and stuff. They took samples and did their things. They have 80 crews. They are a national company. And they said they get their information together, come up with the plan. Once we execute a contract with them, a contract gets executed with them, they say they should be done in 6 weeks. So I'm hoping to have the contract by the August meeting so that they can probably be done by the end of September. So they said they should be able to jump right on it.
Oh, that would be fabulous.
Yeah. I mean, we're really pushing. We gotta have it by winter.
Right.
So they'll get those two bad areas, and then they'll we'll get the work going for next year to finish the other, what, 6? There's 2 that are bad, and so it'll be another 5 of them, because there's a total of 6 or 7 in there. So,
Are they the ones that did Egypt Road, do you know?
I don't know if they did Egypt Road, but
That was a really.
It was a similar
it was
project,
a
actually.
Really nice job at
Yeah.
Egypt
but
Road.
they did,
Yeah, I know.
across over there. And it said they could mobilize quickly once an agreement and the contracts were established, and could have the entire project done in 6 weeks. And then the other thing he brought up is that's on the agenda for the lease purchase for the boom mower. It's in. It's here, so we just gotta execute that,
Great.
and I gotta get it sent back to him. And then what he's pretty much the same thing that's on his report here. I don't think we need, anybody got any questions on it? They've been, working on their capital projects, chip sealing and getting the shoulders ready for, the projects. And the new 2026 Mac is in and been delivered. They've been going over it and debugging and getting those things taken care of. They actually moved the harvester and the conveyor thing and got it over to the launch for it to start out on July 6th. And it was out on the water for 2 days when one of our residents was already complaining that the harvester caused the blue-green algae that was. Of course. And the first day they were on the water, they barely went anyplace because they were just debugging and getting familiar, and didn't go far and do much at all. But it so they moved the equipment for us. It was Jeremy and Paul went down there and moved the equipment stuff and got it over there for them. So I have a resolution to execute the financing for the John Deere boom tractor. Resolution 52 of 2025 authorized the purchase. This is for 3 payments, the lease purchase for 3 payments of $61,260.10 each over the next 3 years. Someone like to move that one?
We'll move that.
I'll second.
Any other questions? All in favor? Carried. Next resolution is declaring highway equipment surplus so that it can go to the auction, or put it on Auctions International on the online auction, the 2019 F-250, the 2014 Mack 10 wheel, and the 2007 Talbot trailer.
And the 2019 is what we call the CEO truck, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, great. Motion to approve.
Yeah, because we're doing the
Right.
pass down. Pass them down. Okay, second,
Second.
all in favor?
All right.
Opposed? Carried. Terry, you're up.
All right, I will try to do this efficiently. The most significant thing is not the weed harvester. It's the surface water is north of 80 degrees. And the reason that's important is blue-green algae, that's a optimal temperature for their reproduction. So once the water temperature gets above 80, you start to see a big increase in blue-green algae. And although having said that, I may be biased, but it's not all that bad yet, but it's coming. I saw you had my blog in there. I'm doing a weekly water quality update blog. You mentioned the harvesting program started on July 6th. My item 4, we're doing a little bit of an experiment. Dorothy and I go to several lake management conferences every year, and we're seeing more and more lake consultants using a product called biochar, which is, Ted knows about it, but it's wood chips that are heated to a high temperature, put in a fabric bag, put in a stream, and they absorb phosphorus. The presentations we've seen is that it absorbs up to 50% of phosphorus in a stream. So with task force funds, we didn't go anywhere else. We're doing a small pilot project on the Miller Field Station. We took our first set of samples above the biochar and below the biochar this morning. And we're going to take them every other week for the next 10 weeks. And we're gonna find out if it works. If we get that sort of benefit, then we'll look for funding sources for Chris's benefit, like maybe Flow Plow or something like that. We'll look for other funding sources to expand the program.
One question I have on it, when you put those in there, how
Yeah.
long, do they need to be changed out regularly or?
They have a 3-month lifespan.
Hmm.
So we put them in July 1st.
Mhm.
We plan to take them out on September 30th. They have a
Okay.
3-month lifespan. If we were gonna do it for 6 months, we would need the 2
Right,
sets.
so, okay.
But we're doing it just,
Well, I'm just thinking as it goes down the road, if it ends up being a,
yeah, if
something
we
that
were
we
gonna
have to
do
be
the
planned
full
for.
warm water season, it would take 2 sets.
Okay,
But you're thinking of the operating costs.
yes,
But the biochar is pretty, not that expensive. I bought 8 bags for $400 or something. I mean, it wasn't dramatic. Now, if you started doing a lot of major streams, it would add up.
Terry, do you know if those are regeneratable? Can you
No.
Send them back to
They're not.
regenerate those?
No, no,
Okay.
no. Nope.
and
3
then,
months.
and then how are they disposed of?
Yeah, do they become mulch?
Well, that is Megan Webster's issue.
Because now it's collected that phosphorus, where's it going?
Ask Megan that.
Okay.
I forgot to mention we're partnering with Soiled Water. Actually, Megan and Jeremy Parrish put those in there for us.
And I, people that took the samples back.
Well, Finger Lakes Institute were taking the phosphorus samples above and below the bags too. So we'll get lab reports from, which is a subsidiary of Hobart Williams College. I don't know, a week, 10 days ago, the DEC finally released their 2022 elm treatment pilot report.
Is the why it didn't work?
And it presented Saturday morning at the HDA annual meeting. And I'll just simplify this. Their consultants say they only put down 25% of the required amount of aluminum sulfate to bind up all the plots. 25%. Remember that number. Also, they put down an average of 300 to 350 gallons of elm. With Dorothy and I've seen hundreds of successful test cases. They tend to run 300 to 500. The DEC is claiming they would have had to put down 1,200 gallons, which would have taken about 3 years. But here, I'm looking at Kate when I say this. So afterwards, I went up and I pointed out to them and they said, yes, thanks for not bringing it up. And a chart where they tested the bottom sediments before. 9.5% of the phosphorus in the bottom sediments were bound to aluminum sulfate. You remember that, it's called 2006.
Mhm.
So 9.5%, so it's still there. 9.5% was bound to it. After they did in 2024, they took after segments and it was 13.6% bound.
Mhm.
So it only went up 4%.
You got
But
it,
they put down enough aluminum sulfate to bind up 25%.
right.
And they don't have an answer for that, so,
And they thank you for not bringing it up.
Mhm.
yeah.
Where somebody get a copy of that report, Terry?
It's,
That's posted on the task force website.
Okay.
yeah, there's,
It's,
he sent us an email, I could forward it. to
oh,
you.
I'll give you this Joe, here, but I'll tell you, it makes it easier. If you just Google Honeoye Lake, you'll find the Honeoye Lake Watershed Task Force.
It's on our website. There's a link for it.
Yeah, they're right.
Okay.
And go to the blog at the bottom of the homepage. And about the second or third item is a link to the report. So they were doing this to gather experience. I believe Chris is well aware of this. Somewhere around 2008, 2009, the DEC put a moratorium on elm treatments. That moratorium is still in place. So they were gathering information. I pointed out to them early on, I had a satellite picture showing the elm treatment plume drifting. Their consultants did an elaborate satellite analysis. It was drifting. So there would be some stretches of the bottom sediment that didn't treated. 1. 2, they said they should have put half of it down in north-south transects, half of it in east-west transects to avoid having any spots without. 3, they did it in November. The water's very cold. That could have affected the chemistry. So there were some other contributing factors, but they wanted to do it in November. They wanted to do it when there was a minimum of algae in the water column, because the DEC lawyers treat this as a pesticide. And so they were experimenting. But the bottom line is they claimed they put down enough to lock up 25% and locked up 4%. And we saw no improvement in the water. And they acknowledged that. They acknowledged that. Questions? So I'll have a report on the biochar probably in November, December timeframe, somewhere.
All right. The only thing, it's, water temperatures at that now in the next couple of days, it's gonna really,
Well,
it's gonna beat it up. I can hope it, I mean, it's supposed to, I think, rain in the weekend. Hopefully we can get enough that'll actually cool things down and flush it a little bit. Let's keep our fingers
It
crossed
would be nice. It would be nice. Yes.
that we can get.
We've been
enough.
having a very warm summer. We had a cold winter. We've had a warm summer. So,
It started early. Okay, anybody have any other questions for Terry? All right, assessor's report's been copied to the town board. She basically was doing all the work to submit the final roll to the county. She picked up the final roll, everything was approved. The last things that she was working on was correction star reports, updated the final state land assessments, the telecoms and the special franchises, which all of those are kind of a discussion between, she comes up with a number, the state comes up with a number, the county comes up with a number, and then they kind of all fight over it. Then the state says, this is what it's gonna be. And, but that's done. Building permits and stuff are being, entered in, and she attended the county monthly assessors meeting. Water district. Any fun news from you?
No, not really. Everything is looking normal. I did take a quick look because I had reported the last couple of months we were around 100,000 gallons low. So 2024 year to date was 4.5 million. 2025 was 4.8 million. And now we're back year to date 4.3. So like I say, everything's normal. Nothing's, out of the ordinary. And a lot of it has to do with when they fill the tank and when the building is
flush.
run.
Yeah, when they flush.
Yeah. So we look okay. And then I got a hold of Steve Savage with Rochester Monroe County Water
Monroe.
Authority.
Yeah.
And he asked that our supervisor contact Nick Nochi to make sure that she doesn't have a rogue town board member. So that's our next step, is for Chris to reach out to Nick. And then we'll have a chat about the water district.
Why would we have a?
Of all people, Kate being from. That is, yeah.
It was,
I don't know, she gets out of control sometimes.
I said to Steve, I understand completely.
Well, you know, you gotta understand, they're dealing with Monroe County.
He said it has happened.
Yeah, up there, they do have issues. So, yeah, we're hopefully we'll be able to sit down with him
Yeah,
early August is what I'm hoping for. And, cause I'd like to have a good idea where we're going as we start preparing the budget,
yeah.
so. Alrighty, my financial report is that one. Okay. General began the month with $1,750,514.17 and ended with $928,790.65. Highway began with $584,561.96 and ended with $193,326.42. Water District. Flip page. Water District began with $442,574.84 and ended with $325,209.13. Trust and Agency began with $4,940.19 and ended with $12,266.62. So the total of all funds began with $2,782,590.96 and ended with $1,459,592.82. I'm getting confused with commas here. Hard time today. Okay, so there are no budgetary transfers based on the general accounts and stuff. I just have a couple of ones to update due to grant funds. So the general motion to approve the financial report for the bank accounts.
Motion to approve. Second.
Second, all in favor? And I abstain. There are no transfers needed. The resolutions I have. First one is 2026 highway funds and budget modifications. This is for the WQIP projects. This is the FlexiMat one that he's been working on. Right now, what I had in there was $4,663.05. I was hoping to talk to Jeremy today. That's not the total grant amount. So when I get, that number is going to change as soon as I can talk to him tomorrow and find out what the total grant amount is so that I've got the whole thing. So what it is it's increasing the revenue line of DA 2390 by whatever the balance is on that grant that we're gonna get this year, and then increase the line we're gonna spend it out of by the same amount. Like I say, right now I got the $4,600 because that's what we have spent so far this year. But there's another bill in there right now, and I believe there's some more to finish up that WQIP grant.
I got it, because the budget's zero right now.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, so the 4663 is gonna change.
yes.
When, we don't know when.
I gotta get from him what the balance is on it, because some of the WQIP was spent last year. So I gotta find out what because he said they'd be finishing it up
Cool.
this year, so I gotta find out what the balance is on it that'll be coming in so I can get those numbers into it. But I should have them tomorrow morning from him.
It matters, but it doesn't really matter.
Right, it's a pass through. It's basically a pass through, but to make our reports correct. Can I have a motion on that?
Make a motion for the WQIP changes. So
Any other questions, comments?
Okay, so the real number will end up in the meeting minute?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's it. Okay,
And I got the same issue with
the chips?
the chips. He told me it went up by 13.6. I couldn't find any information to show it went up by 13.6. What I pulled offline matches the letter that we got in July 10th of last year and what's already in our budget. So I gotta see where he got that notification from. But if it is the 13.6, then what I'll be doing is increasing the chips income line in the 5112.2 capital improvements line by the same
Got it.
amount as soon as I have them. So
Okay,
I will be collaring him tomorrow for both of those numbers.
okay. Motion to approve.
And a second,
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unfinished business and regular agenda.
So I do have a question before we walk away from the
Uh-huh.
financial report.
Yep.
The New York class,
Yes.
tell me what we're doing, because that's not in our balances. That's been moved.
What?
The one thing I was trying.
This, well, that's all general fund that's in there. Yes, it is. The New York class savings is up under general.
So New York class in general started at 7.
And then New York, yeah, and then New
And then-
York class, and there's some in highway too.
Right, and then each one of the men's was 0. So my question is, did we move it to a different savings site?
I still got money in New York class. I know we
I
do.
know you do, because it's on the second page on
Right.
the bottom. 12,
I don't know,
16,
we have to-
776.
I have to see what happened with that, but because I know New York class is in there. Most of it's a lot of it's the water district and stuff that's in there.
Okay,
A
all
203.
3 of them are gone,
All right,
okay?
yep.
So, with that concern, I would okay the report.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pull them out.
Thank you.
Yep.
What's the New York class now, if that makes?
Pardon me?
What's our total New York class invested?
12, 16, 776, 90.
12,000? 12.
1.2 million.
Okay, that's, okay,
Yeah.
we're good, thank you.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, 1.2 million.
Yeah.
Okay. Unfinished business. Resolution to accept the audits of the town clerk and water rents. We have a motion to,
I make a motion to do the audit, water rents.
and a second. All in favor? Aye. Thank you.
They do a nice job. Stephanie and Eileen do a very nice job.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I have a number 2, and I mentioned it before, the 360 codes and updates. I was organizing my collection of stuff that, from when I started in January, I was just shoving everything in here. So then I organized it. So what I have here is accepting digital documentation, some changes to the short-term rental things, wastewater treatment systems, recreational vehicles, the state uniform fire prevention and building code and energy code adoption. Prior written notice that has to do with the highways, farm to highways thing, roadway restrictions, the tiny homes and solar laws. If anybody's got anything else they want me to do, because when I start sitting down with general code.
I'll have a couple, but
You'll have a couple.
I also wanna just put on the record too that I spoke to 360 codes and he said it's kind of a longer, it's like an 18-month process once we
Right.
start.
Right, yeah. Some of these changes, we may actually be doing a local law to get them changed and on the books before 360 goes through it and adopts them all and picks up any other ones. So we have to kind of coordinate with them, because I picked up, there's some of them in here that we need to do and make the changes now and not wait. And you're talking 18 months, I'm saying closer to probably 2 years, knowing what we went through when we codified the laws.
Right.
So, so I want to go through and sit down and actually find out the ones that we need to address now. We may be able to do pretty much one very large local law that addresses all the different chapters and the different things, because some of it are just some wording changes,
Since,
just small changes to them and do them through one. But so that's why I was organizing all my little notes and things by each each thing that was brought up. And some of it is duplicates that I found in different areas that are actually talking about the same thing. So also under unfinished business, I have the adoption of local law number 1 intro. Overriding the tax cap. You want to move it now? And a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. I forgot that one. Eileen caught it. She goes, are we gonna adopt it? Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Good idea.
Good idea. All right, new business, authorization to extend the technology support agreement with Integrated. It's far more beneficial to us to buy the 100-hour blocks than it is to just pay per service call. So this is
It's
doing-
$30 an hour cheaper.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Motion to approve.
Motion to approve in a second.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? All right. Price protection agreement for the propane. I did this with putting Superior in there after a conversation that Kate and I had, but if anybody's got any other thoughts after reviewing the information, there are a couple of them that are cheaper for the town, but they don't pass on anything for employees and associates of the town. So all that would go away for anybody that serves on any of the town boards or works for the town. In addition to the fact, bouncing back and forth between suppliers can eventually cause you problems. So, and their service has been, I mean, I know Kate's done a lot of the dealing with them and stuff. So for the smaller, if you want to talk, we were talking, putting this under the best value, the service is really part of the
Absolutely.
thing. And
Yeah.
and part of the value in the fact that they offer the price to our anybody that's associated with the town and a position and stuff like that. So I went ahead and did the resolution for Superior, unless open for discussion.
The price per gallon is 10 cents cheaper than it was last year. And if any town employee on any of the boards wants to sign up, they're to contact Dana Burt, and his name and number is on the quotes.
I already got mine. Well, yeah, you can finalize it here.
Figured you'd be on. Motion to approve.
And a second. Any other discussion? You're contemplating, Chad, or you just, no, okay. All in favor? Opposed, carried.
Just to switch tanks out, so I'm gonna keep it. Yeah.
All right, video conferencing. This has been a topic of conversation a few times. I know when I was on the ZBA and by the ZBA and by the things. Okay, what I found out when I was doing my research is you actually did pass a local law for it. However, there also has to be a policy that goes along with that local law, and there was no policy. So this is adopting the policy that gives the guidelines for being able to participate by members of a board at a whether it's ZBA, planning board, town board, and they're very clear in the policy, and it'll get distributed to all the boards, that it's for extraordinary circumstances, not the fact, and they actually, in the wording that I looked up with some of the stuff from the Association of Towns, said, not because somebody goes to Florida for 4 months out of the year. Or goes out, goes south, I think is how they put it.
Mhm.
So it's, disability, illness, caregiving responsibilities, significant or unexpected factors or events which preclude the member's physical presence at the meeting. It still requires a quorum to be present at the legal location for the meeting. So there has to be a quorum physically present. The person can vote if they meet this criteria. In addition, the presiding officer needs to be one of the ones that's physically present. So a presiding officer cannot video conference and run the meeting.
Okay, so I do have a question.
Yes,
So if I'm out of town, I can zoom in, but I can't participate. I'll be in the audience.
correct.
Okay.
You can still participate in conversation and stuff. You just can't vote.
Oh, got it.
This only
So it's
precludes
really
you
no
from
different.
voting.
It's really no
it's no
different than-
different than what we understood before.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Just on paper.
No, now we have a policy behind
Yeah, the
it.
policy. The local law was passed to allow video conferencing, but even the local law referenced that according to the policy, and there was no policy.
Thank you.
And then I pulled the policy from Association of Towns and from a couple other places and from the suggested local law. And basically came up with the policy.
Got it. And the policy just lived on its own.
Yes, so in, you know, kind of like our other policies that, so that there can be updates because laws and stuff will change.
Okay. Motion to approve.
And a second,
So
any other questions, comments? All in favor? Aye. Opposed, carried. Appointment of Camille Road as deputy historian for the town of Canadice.
I'll move that.
And a second,
I'll second.
any questions, comments? I gave a copy of her resume with everyone. She has also put it in interest to the ZBA to be a member of the ZBA. As Laura Ann has already resigned. Ed Bott is changing, he will be gone for, as he has been for several months, so he's gonna change his residency to Florida. Because of the homesteader thing and, you know, lovely New York State up here. So we may be losing him. He'll be resigning, so.
Okay.
So if anybody's looking for ZBA, we're probably gonna be looking for some more people too. But anyways, so this is for appointment as deputy historian. And she sat down with both Denise and myself for about a year and then, or a year, an hour, and then Denise spent another hour with with the George Washington thing.
Long interview.
We were together for about an hour and then she stayed with Denise, and as I mentioned earlier, she's already starting to work on cataloging and
Great.
doing stuff with Denise, so. Did we motion?
Yes,
Did we second?
Yes,
yes.
Did we agree?
no.
All in favor? Carried, okay. With my research and with the question with Chad having been the one that has maintained our equipment at the highway department and that we have used, I did some looking into conflict of interest and disclosure things. And basically what he does, he would just have to abstain from any particular voucher that's in there for any time that he's done any service. I sent it out to everybody, my findings and stuff. So what I also developed from what the county has and whatever is actually a form with the disclosure of interest. So when there's anything going on, if somebody has something that they would, have an interest in, and I'll get Chad to sign this and put it on file with the town clerk, that it identifies what that interest is and something that would have to be approved by the board. Anything that we do that has to do with his business, what he would have to abstain from.
Okay,
At the county level, we actually had the supervisor leave during the meeting, and he could talk to you about that at some point. When those kinds of.
I was on the Code of Ethics Committee at the county, and I know how it works.
Back to, so if they talk about it, if it's something that.
Right,
Heavy, like.
Say if I'm-
decisions, I can be asked to leave.
right.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm looking at putting in mini splits in the other building. When we're discussing the RFPs and stuff,
you're out of here.
you're out of here.
So
That's
does that go
in the
for all
policy.
town employees? Like with my business for maintenance, like if I was contracted, say, to do the roof on.
Yes.
place,
Yes,
it would be the same thing?
yes.
You're not a voting member of the town board, but yes, it would.
Yeah,
be the same
you
thing.
would still have to disclose the interest in it if we were gonna be
Exactly.
paying for something, yes.
Exactly.
So that would be like a form that's available for.
That's
for-
for approving this form right now. Yeah, that's what basically what it says, pursuant to chapter 10 Code of Ethics of the Canadice Town Code, individuals that may have or have a conflict of interest regarding business brought before the town are to disclose such interest as soon as they are aware of the interest. To date, there was no form available for an individual to make such a disclosure, and there was just a dependence on a letter being submitted to the governing board or a verbal notification. So basically, I developed this form following the format from the county. that they can disclose, and what it'll be is, as soon as we're aware of anything, we'll get that and it gets filed with the town clerk.
Okay, so the one question I had,
Mhm.
it's dated, there's a signature from the person disclosing.
Yes,
It goes to the governing board. Do you want like a presiding officer or anything? Somebody should accept it. And-
theoretically,
Okay,
according to our code, we're supposed to identify a board of ethics every year. So in January, we will be developing a board of ethics.
got it.
So what'll happen is this will get turned into the town clerk and then she will give it to whoever we put on for the code of ethics. They will convene a meeting and
And they'll approve it.
approve it or put conditions on it or whatever. And then it comes back to us.
Okey dokey.
Yes,
Okay.
it's been in the code forever and ever for a board of ethics, and I don't think anybody's ever put one together.
Okay,
So,
Yeah, we heard the organizational meeting.
there's a
Yeah.
reason for that.
yes.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
all right. Motion to approve the form.
Motion to approve. Oh, I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
As opposed to, Kate put together our disaster recovery plan. I've distributed to everybody. As far as adopting it, I'll do it at the next meeting. I wanted everybody to have a chance to.
Okay, so several of us have seen this, right? Because I've been working on this for a while. It has the latest round of updates, including all the information about the website and anything else that has changed. It has to be looked at annually.
Right,
And then my recommendation to Chris is that we redo, and you gotta help me with this. We redo what's in town code today, simplify it and refer to this document.
Right.
So that it follows other towns and follows the county EOP.
and it makes it easier to
Oh,
update.
yeah, because it's not in the code.
Right, right,
You okay with that?
yes,
Okay,
yeah,
so.
yeah, so I'd like everybody to take
Please,
I've gone through it, I've got a couple things in it, only because
that would be great.
that changed here on the county data, you got the county iPad. And I put laptop question, but at this point in time, I don't have a county
I
thing
can, okay,
or laptop, because what I did is I had them
Right.
put it on the town one.
right. Okay. let me
So,
think
but it
about
just,
that. And, everybody should look at this because things change all the time. Can I send it out electronically to everybody?
Yes, I would like a copy and I definitely need to talk to you about that because of the new floodplain administrator laws that changed since you started this, because I did go through it at one point, but then I took the FEMA floodplain administrator training, and there are some things that I have to request.
We need to fix. Great, okay.
Which is why I
That's such a shock.
So,
Great. Okay, I'll send this electronically.
okay,
Right,
and then, we can do the resolution as to what we need to do and identify everything.
thank
So
you.
if she
Yeah,
sends it
meeting.
to the planning email, you can give it to your board?
Yeah,
Okay.
that would be great. That would be great. Okay. Okay, I did get excellent feedback the last time. We circulated that. Okay. It just died on the vine.
Yeah.
All right, and then the last one is another addendum for budget modifications. When the budget was developed for 2026, there was no stipend in there for the deputy historian. I'm recommending for the last half of this year $400. This is the budget amendment to do that.
Motion to approve.
Any other questions? All in favor? Oh, carried. Great. And last one is motion to approve the bills. Nobody else wants to pay them?
You look at them?
I looked at,
Okay,
that's what I done.
Okay,
you're okay.
a second,
I'm fine. I'll say.
all right. Anybody have any questions on any of them? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, last privilege of the floor. Anybody else got any exciting news for the board?
This isn't really relevant just to the town, but postage went up again as of Sunday.
Really? Come up.
Those are 2 cents for the first place.
I love it. You just pick it to $1 and make it a round number, then it can stay that way for a while.
There's no sale there.
It just won't stay like that, they'll just keep went.
He's sensitive, you're getting rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Next year's fee schedule, I'd like to, because of the postage stuff.
Right.
Talk to you about.
Like, yeah, we can do the permit fee and we can do that schedule and stuff, the organizational meeting.
Yeah, and then our violation system is unusual for most other towns, which causes thousands of dollars in mailing
Okay.
costs, so.
All right. Well, they don't be, especially when we get having these damn people. Any other one interested in something for privilege of the floor? Does anybody want to make a motion to adjourn?
I think I'm open to adjourn.
Okay, we got a first and a second. We got 2 first. Go for it. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
All right. In front of the new vehicle.
Technically, I am supposed to. But we're allowed to accept digital files.
Isn't that just?
Two cars are.
If he uses a form.
Pictures, right?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Younger kid, was trying to get into.
I sent him a copy, I sent him.
Around 37.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got one. And I
What's the whole
also.
cup? Pick out everything, whatever. Take the whole thing. One page. Where's the other page?
I didn't.
Mark's too, he'll remember.
There you go, you can take Mark's too.
Is there any questions?
No.
Good for me.
I'm excited.
Big safe.
I gotta say.
What do you want to do?
Alright, I got one.
I can't.
I know what
Yeah, that's the thing with me, I just think it's just, it's just normally, or if you can. Once you make it a hit, then they have to review it.
Maybe that's.
An hour.
And then after. You know what I'm saying?
Because of.
Anyway.
3 months.
One of the lights right now.
I think you did.
And channel
Yes,
established for science.
That's right, my.
Gone days.
Yeah.
A lot of people came up to me.
Yeah, I was actually go.
We need you back. Well,
That's.
I enjoyed the conversation.
Kept sending out data.
Yeah.
And he always on.
And then we had an issue with specifically one of those.
Yeah, so I asked Jeremy,
So we knew we had to
in a
catalog that.
if we can start doing this.
When I came back, I was
For anything.
You don't have to do it.
from Williamson Law, and he's super.
Just have his eyes on it.
And he